Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to explore something pretty fundamental, a shift that's happening right now, really driven by artificial intelligence.
Hmm.
It's reshaping whole industries. And specifically, we want to look at online education, and the world of creators.
Right.
It's a big challenge, isn't it? How do you not just, well, survive, but actually thrive
Mm.
when AI seems like it can replicate so much your content, your writing, maybe even your voice?
Yeah, exactly.
We spent time digging into a conversation with an expert who's really, deep in the creator economy, living this disruption day to day.
And our mission here for this deep dive is really to pull out the most important nuggets from that discussion. We want to unpack, what the future of learning looks like,
Right.
identify some new business models that are popping up and proving pretty resilient, actually,
Right.
and maybe discover why that human element, the stuff AI can't just copy, might be more valuable than it's ever been.
Okay, so let's dive right in. There's this pretty bold claim out there that online courses, the way we've known them, are kind of, well, facing a major disruption because of AI.
Yeah, screwed was the word used, I think. And it sounds harsh, but when you look at how AI disrupts,
It starts to make sense.
it really does. Think about it. Historically, online courses were great, right? Super efficient for teaching, let's say, most people most of the time.
Yeah, the standard model.
Exactly. But AI changes the game. It can replicate the content, yeah, but also the structure, the writing style, even the voice, like you said.
Wow.
And the big thing is it offers this, well, infinitely patient, hyper-personalized learning experience. That's something the old one-size-fits-all courses just, they can't do that.
That personalization thing.
Yeah.
It makes me think, I was homeschooled for a bit. People always asked, how it worked, the structure.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it was incredibly efficient because it was totally tailored to my pace, what I already knew. It wasn't like 5 hours locked in. It was finish the work.
Right, until it's done.
Exactly. So if I was focused, maybe just a couple of hours.
Mhm.
And that efficiency, well, it meant graduating pretty early because the learning just adapted to me.
That's a perfect analogy. And we're seeing this play out now with AI tutors. You look at organizations like Primer, for instance. They're using AI tutors and getting these, well, frankly, insane results.
Insane how.
Kids completing coursework in a tiny fraction of the time, maybe just 2 hours a day. And they're scoring way, way above the standardized tests.
Wow.
It's that tailored one-on-one tutoring, just like your homeschooling, that AI makes possible at scale. It makes a huge difference.
Okay, but there's a catch, right? Or maybe an if factor.
Mhm.
This personalized learning, it kind of depends on the learner knowing how to talk to the AI, how to prompt it right.
That's a really good point. It is definitely a skill that's still developing for a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
And that's exactly why this whole shift is pushing course creators to completely rethink their models. The old way, designing one curriculum for everyone, it's just becoming less and less effective in this AI world.
So, okay, if the ground is shifting under traditional courses, where do creators go? What are the new models that are actually working, that are proving, resilient?
Well, one major strategy is integrating AI into the learning experience itself, not just using it behind the scenes.
How does that work?
Imagine course platforms building tools that let a creator turn their existing lessons into a custom AI model. Like, let's call it a JGPT, right? For Jay's GPT or whoever the creator is.
Okay, I see.
And this JGPT could then chat with learners, give them prompts, homework feedback, all tailored to their specific needs based on the creator's content.
That's interesting.
And beyond that, AI can also help the creators themselves, like with pedagogy, the actual science of teaching. AI could help structure courses really effectively using frameworks like Bloom's taxonomy.
Right, the different levels of learning.
Exactly, from just remembering facts all the way up to complex problem solving. So AI helps make the core content super solid even while the delivery gets hyper-personalized.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting for me. With all this AI, this personalization, there's this almost opposite trend happening, right? This growing hunger for real, verifiable human experiences.
Absolutely, and it begs the question, when information is basically free and infinite, what do people actually value when they pay to learn something?
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is a huge comeback for cohort-based courses, CBCs. Group learning isn't new, obviously, but people are really starting to value learning with and from other people again.
That shared experience.
That shared journey, the human connection, it's proving invaluable. It's not just about being in the same Zoom room. It's about the the emergent intelligence, right? When different people bounce ideas off each other, you get solutions AI just can't come up with.
The group itself becomes the product, almost.
In a way, yes. And get this, CBCs often command prices like 10 times higher than the self-paced version of the exact same content, just because of that human interaction.
Wow, 10x. That's significant.
It is. And another model flourishing right now is memberships. But it's important to distinguish here.
Okay.
Community is the peer-to-peer stuff, the interaction. Membership is the subscription product you sell, and community is often a part of that membership.
Got it.
And memberships have a range of value. You've got the tangible stuff like premium content that's easier to sell because people see the value up front.
Right.
But then there's the soft stuff, the peer-to-peer connection. That's where the real long-term retention magic happens.
So how do you price for that softer value?
Great question. The key is pricing for the renewal, not just the first sale. Make it a no-brainer to stay.
Oh.
So, for example, in our program, The Lab, members get something like $1,700 in external product value, but the membership might be, say, $700 or $2,000 a year. Once they're in and feel the pure connection value, renewing feels easy.
Makes sense. Keep them sticky.
Exactly. And related to that, for these really engaged peer-to-peer communities, we actually don't offer a monthly option.
Oh, interesting. Why not?
It just encourages a higher level of commitment, more skin in the game from the members who join annually.
Right, they're invested.
They really are. And, we learned some lessons about community size, too. We used to cap it at 200 members, thinking small meant intimate.
Yeah.
But it actually backfired sometimes. It limited geographic density for local meetups or finding enough people with very specific expertise.
Yeah. Okay.
And we also found that people signing up purely because of FOMO, fear of missing out because spots were limited, they often churned out pretty quickly. They weren't truly bought in.
So what did you change?
We moved to an application-based model. We vet people now looking for objective things like maybe making $10K a month in non-service revenue or having 10K followers somewhere.
So curation.
Exactly. Curation and vetting. Because look, if a space is for absolutely everybody, it's also kind of for nobody, right? It loses its specific value.
Yeah.
Think about high-level groups like YPO, the Young Presidents Organization. They have strict rules age, revenue. That exclusivity is part of what makes it valuable.
That focus on specific value, even exclusivity, seems like it connects to another strategy, higher priced, higher touch offers.
It absolutely does. Starting with higher price stuff might seem daunting, but it means you need fewer sales to make real revenue.
And probably get more committed customers too.
Precisely. More engaged customers lead to better results, better case studies, better testimonials. It's a virtuous cycle.
Okay, so what does higher touch look like?
Well, you've got done-for-you services. Think of an agency model like the Paperboy example. They scaled really fast doing newsletter management for clients, charging like $5K, $8 a month. That's often the quickest path to cash flow.
Right.
Then there's group coaching. That's fantastic middle ground. You scale your hourly rate massively. Imagine making $5,000 an hour because you have 10 people on a coaching call paying $500 each.
Yeah, the math works.
It really does. We see creators making serious money, $500K, even $1.5 million a year from pretty small email lists, maybe 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers, just off one or two high-touch programs.
That's incredible. It flips the script on needing massive audiences.
Completely. And all this leads to a really fundamental point about what creators should be optimizing for now. It's not just attention anymore.
What is it then?
It's trust. Think about AI, like JGPT. It's an incredible advice machine, right? You can ask it about anything, like how car leasing works. But your willingness to act on that advice hinges entirely on how much you trust its output. And remember, AI gives probabilistic answers the most likely answer, not necessarily the guaranteed truth.
That's a really critical distinction, and it brings up a tricky thing for creators thinking about those custom AIs, those JGPTs we talked about.
Yeah.
Well, if you build an AI on your expertise, does that devalue you? Your personal scarcity?
Yeah.
And what about, like, liability? If the AI gives bad advice based on your stuff?
Exactly. You hit on key concerns: control, liability, potential brand damage. It really forces creators to think hard about where they draw the line.
Right.
And it just hammers home the importance of authenticity. In a world where everyone has a camera, where you're potentially always being recorded, consistency matters more than ever.
Yeah, that one bad moment.
That one bad moment caught on video can totally change how people see you. Your reputation, the trust you've built so carefully, it's fragile and it's paramount.
Okay, so we've talked about attracting the right people, building trust, but let's talk about keeping them. Many new communities, they fizzle out, right? High churn, low success. How do you make it sticky?
You have to remember, at the moment someone buys, they are taking all the risk. So that very first experience they have, it is absolutely crucial.
Make or break time.
Totally. So in the lab, we've refined this onboarding process. Right after they buy, boom, they see a video testimonial from a happy member. It affirms their choice, calms the buyer's remorse.
Smart.
Then we create what we call an intervention point. We prompt them to book a quick one-on-one call really early. So if they don't show up or if their engagement drops off fast, our team can proactively reach out, hey, saw you booked a call, need help logging in, stuff like that.
Catching them before they drift away.
Exactly. They also get an automated welcome message, but it comes from my profile personally, encouraging them to reply.
Nice personal touch.
Then there's an actual onboarding course. Think of it like joining a new gym.
Okay.
You wouldn't just walk in and have them say good luck, right? A good gym shows you around, makes you feel comfy with the equipment, the space. Same idea. We guide them through the community platform.
That makes sense. Reducing the overwhelm.
Precisely. And maybe the most important piece. We ask new members to post a video introduction. And then critically, a community builder, or sometimes me, responds personally, also with video, as fast as we can.
Wow, video response.
Yeah, it creates this immediate sense of, wow, they see me, I'm welcome here. And it answers that constant unspoken question, okay, I'm in, now what? We give them one clear next step.
That sounds really effective for the start. But what about month 6, month 12? How do you keep the fire lit?
Great question. We use automation for long-term onboarding too. Like at 6 months, an automated email goes out.
Okay.
It acknowledges they might feel drifted, offer specific ways back in. Hey, feel overwhelmed, just declare notification bankruptcy and start fresh. Or connect with some new members who just joined. Or even hit reply and let me know what you're working on.
Giving them permission to re-engage without feeling awkward.
Exactly. And sometimes it's about creating truly remarkable moments, things people talk about. I still remember years ago joining a program by Todd Herman and getting this automated but incredibly personal sounding phone call from him. It felt so real, so unexpected, it blew me away. That's the kind of memorable touch point that builds loyalty.
Yeah, those unexpected moments stick with you.
They really do. And you know, you don't need hundreds of people to start strong. 5 or 10 really engaged members is plenty.
Just 5.
Absolutely. We use a private opening, public launch approach. Offer your biggest fans, your true believers, a special deal first, maybe lifetime access for a lower price. They become the core, the cultural fabric.
You get the foundation right.
Yes. And in those early days, you have to over-index on live interaction, host more live calls, manually introduce people, be the connective tissue yourself. If you can connect people who end up being genuinely glad they met through your community, that's huge value. That's sticky.
That really highlights the power of connection. You see it in those long-standing communities, right? Like Tropical MBA's Dynamite Circle. They've been going for 20 years, mixing online with lots of in-person events.
The gold standard example.
Or those big organizations like YPO, EO.
Yeah.
Their whole model is built on curated peer connection and often in-person interaction.
Absolutely. And I think that push for in-person is only going to get stronger as AI becomes more pervasive online. It's a necessary counterbalance.
But even that's getting complicated now, isn't it? With those new AI recording gadgets, the pendants and things.
Right. It's a fascinating new tension. We crave authentic, off-the-record human interaction, but we also have tools emerging that promise perfect recall of every conversation. How do we navigate that in physical spaces? It's something we're all going to have to figure out.
Definitely a space to watch. So, bringing it all together, what's the core advice for creators trying to navigate this?
Okay, first, don't just copy what seems to be working for someone else right now. Innovate. Be uniquely you.
Yeah.
Experiment. You can even borrow ideas from a completely different industry and apply them to yours in a new way.
Find your own angle.
Find your angle. And second, crucially, shift your focus. Stop optimizing just for attention, which on social media is often like a leaky bucket you constantly have to refill.
Okay.
Start optimizing for trust. Build that trust on platforms where you have a direct connection, where you have permission to communicate, like your email list or your podcast listener.
Because that trust is where the real sustainable value gets captured in the long run.
Exactly. That's the foundation.
This has been such a rich, deep dive. It really paints a clear picture of the huge shifts AI is causing in education and for creators.
Yeah.
The old ways are definitely being disrupted. But it feels like what's emerging is potentially more human-centric, which is kind of hopeful.
I think so too. So just to recap the big takeaways, traditional courses. They're being disrupted by AI's power for hyper-personalization. That's happening.
Right.
This is pushing creators towards models that emphasize the human element, CBCs, memberships built on real connection, higher touch services.
Okay.
Trust, not just attention, is becoming the key currency for creators.
The new metric.
The new metric, and building communities that last. It all starts with nailing that first experience and staying personally engaged.
So it leaves us, and you listening, with a big question, doesn't it? In a future where AI gives us almost limitless information,
Yeah.
what's the real measure of value for you as a learner?
Yeah.
Is it just getting the facts, the instant answers? Or is it that trusted human guidance, the curated community that helps you make sense of it all, challenges you, and, well, enriches the whole journey?
It's definitely something to reflect on. What kind of learning experiences do you value most now? And how can you maybe take some of these ideas, these insights, and apply them to your own learning or even your own creative work?